Police have arrested a Libyan citizen suspected of plotting an attack against Israel's embassy in Berlin. After the arrest, German Justice Minister Marco Buschmann warned of a very serious Islamist terror threat in Germany. Deutsche Welle correspondent Thomas Sparrow joins us now from Berlin. Thomas, g'day. So what can you tell us about the arrest and this suspect's plans?
The suspect was arrested in the small town of Bernau, not very far away from the capital, Berlin. It's otherwise a quiet town in the state of Brandenburg, and authorities have stressed that it was a 28-year-old man from Libya. Apparently, he had applied for asylum here in Germany, but his application was rejected. And according to authorities, he had planned to use firearms to attack the Israeli embassy in Berlin. How concrete those plans were, how concrete his links were to the so-called Islamic State, this is something that will only come to the public, if at all, during the investigations. But what authorities did stress when they detained this man is that he had been in contact with a member of the so-called Islamic State via an online chat. And all this comes at a time when security here in Germany is a priority for the government. It's a very controversial topic, especially after several security incidents in recent months.
And the German government speaks of a very serious threat posed by Islamist terror. What exactly does that mean?
It essentially means that the German government, also intelligence agencies, have been monitoring the situation very closely in recent months. In August, there was a very serious incident in the town of Solingen in western Germany, also by someone linked to the so-called Islamic State. Then in September, there was an incident not far away from the General Consulate of Israel in Munich, a shooting there. And basically what German authorities have been stressing is that because of the situation in the Middle East, because of the conflicts in the Middle East, the security situation here in the country, in Germany, has become very tense and very difficult. There is a very clear rise in anti-Semitic incidents. There is a very clear rise in tensions. And what German authorities have stressed is that they're also monitoring very carefully whether people are radicalizing themselves online and to what extent the so-called Islamic State might be playing a role in all these tensions that are happening. And that's why also, as a result, the German government has announced a series of measures to tackle this issue.
And so what are authorities doing to confront the threat?
Well, one important element which came after the attack in Solingen in August that I just mentioned was tightening asylum procedures in the country. In other words, making sure that asylum seekers whose asylum application is rejected can return to their countries of origin as quickly as possible. Basically, this security issue is also linked to the overall topic of irregular migration here in Germany. A second element that authorities have focused on is in trying to give more powers to intelligence agencies, but this in particular is very controversial, whereas members of the government believe that intelligence agencies should have more powers, for example, when it comes to facial recognition, for example, when it comes to saving online data. There are others in Parliament that have voiced their opposition to this, and in fact, a measure proposed by the German government did not pass the Bundesrat, that's the upper house of parliament, if you will, so where all the different states are represented. So basically now you're having two issues. One is a debate on what's actually happening in different German cities, the issue of radicalization, the issue of the security incidents, and at the same time you're having a big political discussion as to what the best measures are to deal with this. And added to that, another element, the fact that German authorities would want to cooperate more with other intelligence agencies around the world. In fact, this latest incident apparently came from a foreign intelligence agency that monitored this specific chat between the man who was arrested in Bernau and this so-called member of the Islamic State.
Okay, Thomas Sparrow there in Berlin. Now to the US election. It's just 2 weeks away.